What's up, everybody? Welcome in, GDA crew. My name's Jordan, and we're gonna go embrace our fantasies. First off, let's start off with hey, Mike B, welcome in. Stevie Lee, Andy, Steve, how you doing, buddy? Everyone that's coming in, thank you for joining. We're gonna talk about the Disney fantasy. My fun experience from November of last year. It's gonna be fun. There's some ups, there's some downs. But at the end of the day, it's Disney. It was a lot of fun. Hey, Jill, how are you? Welcome in. Don't forget, guys, as you're coming in, smash the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Share out the stream. And let's go cruising. So, last time we talked about when I was on the Disney Wish in November of last year, and that fun experience talking about food, talking about the shows, talking about the experience, talking about Hurricane Nicole that threw a curveball into the mix. And we weren't able to do Disney's Castaway and or NASA Bahamas. Such is life, unfortunately. But with bad weather, it's always better to play it safe than sorry. So I think that one was pretty fun. So let's get right into it. The Disney Fantasy. Now, the itinerary that I went on was the Eastern Caribbean. Here's a bit of a map for you. So this kind of shows a bit of the destination. And yes, I'm hiding this beautiful face in the background. So we start off at Port Canaveral in Florida. It took us 2 days to get down to Tortola and the British Virgin Islands. And then we hopped on over to St. Thomas for a day. And then after that, we decided to head all the way up to Castaway in the Bahamas and then back into Port Canaveral. AAU, what's up, buddy? Welcome in. So in total, this cruise is a 7-night cruise, and it goes out of Port Canaveral and again on the Disney Fantasy. And this one is a Saturday to Saturday. I gotta show this beautiful picture I was able to snag really quickly as we were being hurried to get into the terminal to check in. So if you haven't seen it before, this is what the outside of the Disney Cruise Line terminal looks like. So it's a gorgeous view. I think it's fantastic. And next time I go on a cruise, I'm going to make sure I can get the ins and the outs of what the actual terminal looks like on the inside. Jill, it's a fun itinerary. The only downfall that I found to it was you're at sea for 3 days. So I like to have more ports of call would be my kind of icing on the cake. I would say, hey, let's eliminate Tortola, maybe put St. Martin in instead. But again, that's just personal preference. But again, I will say it's still an absolute blast. I can't remember how many times now this has been since how many times I've been on the Disney Fantasy. But either way, it was absolutely amazing. Now with this picture here I have displayed here, Disney Cruise Line goes that extra mile to make sure that their terminal looks absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is my favorite terminal to see. And again, you can see the 2 funnels in the background of the picture as well too, of the cruise ship as well too, as it's kind of tucked away in behind there. And again, on the cruise ship itself, there's only one functioning funnel, and then the other one is actually functioning. So they make sure they gotta make sure it matches, so it looks fantastic. Jill, I've never been before to St. Martin's, so I would like jump all over it to say, hey, let's change it up. But you can always offer suggestions, but at the end of the day, is it something that's going to happen? You just never know. But it's always good to provide that feedback. The sail away parties are one of my favorite things, and I'll continue to say that because it's very interactive. They're fun, and when you do the sail away parties, again, one of my favorite noises that you're always going to hear. I thought that was part of the. oh boy, Andy. You want to know what? It could look like it could be part of the building for sure. But no, that's actually the Disney Fantasy in the background. So again, one of my favorite noises that we always hear as the ship is as part of the countdown for the sail away. And again, every port of call and every day at noon hour, and there's certain times of day where you hear these horns. So again, one of the favorites. Uh-oh. I did get a haircut there, chomps. Here, I'll go back and I'll show you again here. There, yeah, so I did get my hair. I had to make sure I had a clean look. See what I did there? Chomps, a clean look. See, clean look here, Chomps. Got to make sure I look beautiful for you. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I hope you and Sunshine are doing fantastic. And definitely great to see you guys here. So let's jump over to the sail away. So I got a two-parter here for this one here. One's a short little clip here, and then the other one's actually a little bit longer. But it's the interaction from what you get to see from how the sail away party starts. Uh-oh, Trung Christine is here. Triton, behave. Otherwise, Christine's going to get you in a lot of trouble. So let's start off with this. And Triton, I do apologize in advance. Again, my phone wasn't turned the right way. So it's in portrait and not landscape. I know you're going to yell at me afterwards on Discord or something like that. So please try not to do it too much. And here we go.
I think it's time to see what's fun courtside. Are you ready to find exotic places filled with adventure and romance? Aww. Oh, Tinkerbell, let's spread some pixie dust all over the island.
You heard, Minnie. It's time to make our Disney dreams come true. Island style.
On a dream cruise, we're all together.
That's right.
Under bright and sunny weather. Splashing in the sun, our adventure just begun. There's so much more in store, waiting on the shore.
Like shopping nuts.
And inviting, for adventures are so exciting.
Oh, they are.
With the energy you feel, spin around you like no feeling. With the spirit of the moment, where we love to be so real.
Help us guide you.
Uh-huh.
Lead your worries far away. The chick with plans beside you. It's a meaning in your day.
Uh-huh.
Minnie,
Oh, that's me.
what adventures small, more on cruises big and small. Tell us, Minnie. Oh, Minnie. On the ship or on the shore, it's everything we want and more. Everybody calm down. Calm down.
Come on, everybody. That's right.
Everybody calm down. Calm down.
Let's find out.
Everybody calm down. Calm down.
Oh, this is fun.
Everybody calm down. Calm down.
Wonderful. It's a party.
Minnie. Oh, Minnie.
Yeah.
Boy, adventures small, more on cruises big and small. Tell us, Minnie. Oh, Minnie. On the ship or on the shore, it's everything we want and more.
Dear boy.
Disney Cruise Line is best known for its musical spectacular shows. This,
Excuse me, is it time for my big number?
well, now's as good a time as any. Here's a guy who knows a thing or two about entertainment. Let's hear it for Goofy!
Okay, Pillars, hit it! The clown with his pants falling down, or the dance. That's the dream of romance, or the scene where the villain is playing. That's entertainment. The lights on the lady in tights, or the bride with a guy on her side, or the ball where she gives him a roll. Feet, don't fail me now. Who let the dog out?
It's everyone's favorite party animal. It's Pluto!
Come on, everyone. It's time for you to get into the party groove. Section 11 and 12. I want to see you dance.
Stay alive, stay alive. Whoa, whoa. Stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive, stay alive.
Hey, AJ, what do you say it's time we switch things up with a new dance?
That's right. Come on, everyone. It's time to shake our tail feathers with Donald and Daisy Duck. Now that's what I call rocking the boat.
I think you mean ship.
Right. Well, as you can see, the fun has just begun.
The time is now. Let your Disney fantasy begin!
Sailing away.
Welcome aboard, everyone. We hope you had fun.
Now let's hear it for Mickey, Minnie, and the rest of the gang. What they play?
Hope you like the show. Bye-bye. Yeah, not sure. Well, thanks, Chipper. See you in the buffet.
Bye-bye.
Have fun on deck. So long.
Keep those hands clapping, Disney Fantasy Cruiser! If you're ready for some vacation, I need help. Put it this way. Look at working out when everyone says, see you later! And look over this way to rest and relaxation. No school, no work.
What did they? That's the sailing away party. Every cruise ship does it a little different. They're not all the same across the board, but you will see a lot of there will be some similarities in regards like the music, the dancing. They do the countdowns, the horns as well too, which is fantastic. Stevie, your question you asked, I'll answer that for you probably closer to the end, only because I'm going to run through this stuff here as a comparison, and then I will rock out and then come back to that one for you. So, I think in that last video after the sail away party, that was when we're now out in the open waters, cruising out of the actual port itself. And again, great pictures to get, great videos to get. You can snag them as you're leaving. And one of the benefits is that I always get a stateroom on deck 10 that's right at the aft. So you can always see and get those great shots, which is fantastic to see. You'll see much more of that as we go through this one as well too. And yeah. So this cruise was actually a very merry Christmas time cruise on the high seas. So the ship itself was completely decked out with Christmas, whether you saw it in the atrium, whether you saw it decorated on guest doors. There's merch that you could buy as well too ahead of time, where your staterooms could be decorated as well with Christmas stuff. Constantly playing Christmas music. It's fantastic. So they do also do Halloween at the high seas as well. Oh, Stevie. They also do Halloween at the high seas as well too, and again, everything's all decked out for Halloween, which is absolutely fantastic as well and great to see. Now we're going to jump in really quickly to some of the Christmas decorations and some of the videos as well too. That way you can kind of get a glimpse of it and kind of see how they decorate it, what it looks like. And again, what I'm going to show you here to start off it with is some Christmas stuff that I had purchased for our room, for Patrick and I, and it was great just to have it in there. And again, they get it all set up for you before you commit. So this would be number uno. And again, this is just a throw blanket that goes on top of the bed. But again, it's all decked out with Christmas and whatnot. And the Christmas is my favorite, Stevie. I would do a very merry time Christmas cruise before doing Halloween. Just my own personal preference. So we jump over here to the next one. And again, this is just the banner that was hanging from the ceiling. And again, they were really cool. Actually, no, this one I gave to Patrick. So Patrick actually has this one, this entire set. But again, these ones are magnetic. They hang from the ceiling, so which is great. Some good old holiday fun, which is another one here that we have hanging. And again, Christmas is fantastic. And then we're going to jump over to another one here. So this is that same banner that I just showed on the last one, but now it's just showing down just a little bit more with the Christmas tree, and that way you can see it a bit more. Now this package, I think itself, when I purchased it, I think it was around the $70 marker, I think it was. And again, this is something that you have to order before the cruise. They do go fairly quickly. So you want to make sure that if you do want it, that you do jump on it fairly quickly, and that way you can actually get it. And I think you have up until 72 hours prior to the cruise. And that goes for anything on board. If you want to purchase it ahead of time to have it in your room, it has to be done 72 hours prior. Anything that's, after the 72 hours, close to the cruise time, they lock it out, so you can't even order it. Even if you call them on the phone and say, hey, I want this. Yeah, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. We get this good old guy just hanging out. So originally this rock star was actually on the bed, but I kind of shifted him around to put him up here, and that way he's just kind of lounging and laying around. But again, it's fantastic how they do it. Christmas is fantastic. All the way Christmas there, Triton. So we played this game on. It's actually I would more so say it's a thing called fish extenders. So if anyone's done fish extenders before on the cruise, these are things that will happen if you can set up a little thing outside your stateroom, and what it does is that people, like, you get put into this group, and you buy gifts for like 5 staterooms, but you have a full listing, and it tells you what you can get. Can you buy it from Disney? So Stevie, you actually buy it through Disney Cruise Line, and then your host or your hostess will then actually put it up inside the room for you. So it's all done right through Disney. You don't go to a third party for it. But yeah, so we did a thing called fish extenders, and again, it was Christmas time. This is all Christmas related. So some friends of mine that came on the state, it was their first Disney cruise. Julie, Claire, and Clark. And they had an absolute blast. So this was actually a gift from them. Again, they were first time cruisers, so I helped them through the whole process to go through it all. Now, if Andy is still kicking around and hiding here, this was a glimpse of a picture that I got, and for all those fans of you who do like Stitch, I got this picture as Patrick and I were heading towards the Walt Disney Theater to watch a show. Some good old Stitchy, just chilling, lounging around, coming around and heading to wherever Stitch was going next. So this was really cool to kind of get this glimpse of Stitch just kind of chilling out and just doing a walkthrough. And it was just perfect timing that Patrick and I were always essentially first in line for the shows. So it was great that we were able to snag this. Next up is, so there was actually a live performance that was done. And again, they do, so in the Walt Disney Theater, not only do they do Broadway type shows, but they also do have like magicians. They'll have musical artists in there. They'll have a cappella groups in there. They'll have, the list goes on of what they could have. So the first night that we were there, this magician here, Eric Jones, absolutely phenomenal. I think Stitch needs more than just coffee. But again, a great show to watch with this magic show, and the interaction that they have. So he actually brought people up on stage. He also came into the audience as well too. And then that way he had that full interaction with everybody. So it was actually really, really great to see it. Andy, I don't know, did you see the picture of Stitch that I had posted or no? If you want to let me know really quickly, then if not, then I can go back and I can post it back up again. That way you can see Stitch. As I do know that Stitch is one of your favorite characters. I know there's a bit of a delay here when it comes up for the chat and everything, so okay, perfect. Groovy. Thanks, Andy. Dinner that night was held at the Royal Court. Pardon me. So again, whenever you go on a Disney cruise, and again, I believe other cruises as well, you always go to the same table number. So when you go into the restaurant itself, you just say that your table, in our case, table number 40. And on this cruise, my brother and my sister-in-law and my two nieces were with us as well too. They were actually in the room next door to us. There were adjoining rooms. So, we actually had the door between on our verandas. We had them unlock it and open it up. But when we were done getting ready in the morning or whatever, we could just open up the door on the inside of our stateroom, and then we could. That way they knew that we were ready, and then when they were ready, they can rock and roll, and then open it up, and then come on down. Now let's talk about food. I know this was a mushroom something of sorts with a salad, whatever, but I can't remember the name of it. But I do know that it was absolutely fantastic. It was so magically delicious. So when you're on a Disney cruise, there's an appetizer, there's a soup salad option, there's an entree, and then you go for dessert. So essentially it's like a 4-course meal. Now keep in mind, you can order one of each off the menu if you really wanted to try all of them. Or if you're undecided, they'll bring you both, just to make it easier. Stevie Lee food. Yeah. Food is fantastic. And again, they have some nice, good stuff as well too. So you get your nice thing like a fresh salad, as well too. And this was just a salad with romaine lettuce with tomatoes, Thousand Island salad dressing, some Parmesan cheese, and some croutons. There we go. Again, fantastic food. Of course, you gotta go for the beef. Prime rib. Fantastic. Yeah, it's bear shark eating. Definitely bear shark eating for sure. James E. Magically delicious. You got that right, buddy. Sorry, I should say it's magically phantasmic delicious. Captain Tuttle, DCL consult. That would be fantastic. Who doesn't like good dessert? Again, can't remember what it was for the life of me, but it was fantastic. It was just so good. Sorry, Jill. Not sorry. Right. So again, great food. And then I know in the last one I talked about the good old animal creations that they like to do. Now, we didn't have as much fun with, he always does that, Jill, sorry. Sorry, Stevie, not really. So one of the things I talked about the other one on the Disney Wish is that they always do like their animal creations with like the towels, the bed sheets and whatnot, like the comforter, and it's fantastic. The host that we had on this on the Fantasy wasn't as engaging as the one that we had on the Disney Wish, where we could play all the jokes with. So this one, unfortunately, we had to keep it clean. No, we didn't get any of that, Stevie. So this was number one. Right. So again, not as fun not as fun as the last one. So we kind of couldn't really join in and have that fun like we did in the last one. Second one here. Again, we have the dino again. But unfortunately, there's no trademarks to go with it. It's never my fault, Triton. Remember, we blame Jonathan Chong for that. Can Susa, how are you? Welcome in. But yeah, Stevie, unfortunately, no. Here's the dino, but there's no pooping dino. Now we go to the next one. Duck. I believe. Looks like one. But again, it's using towels, the cloths, the comforters, and that sort of thing to make this kind of thing happen. So it's absolutely fantastic to see these creations. Nicole, how are you? Thanks for joining. And then our next one. It's a wiener dog. How they did this one, I'm baffled. It's fantastic that they did this. But yeah, so again, we couldn't have any fun with this host, unfortunately, this time around. So it wasn't very not a lot of fun. Now, Triton, Christmas, Stevie, Christmas. Here we go. Enjoy.
Well, Mickey, that moment has arrived. How about a holiday countdown?
Here we go.
9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
wow, everyone, you did it! Oh my God.
So that's just some of the stuff there that you'll see now. With that last video there, you'll see, so this person actually brought their Christmas decorations and they actually had a battery pack. That way they could have the lights going on a regular basis, because there's no outlets that you can plug anything into, or that they would allow you to plug stuff into. So you always have to make sure that you're bringing your own stuff. If it's someone with a battery pack, again, that helps out. But yeah, so again, bring all the decorations you want. People went really, way out there, and doors would be decorated like crazy, whether it was like magnets or whether it was like those types of decorations. They were absolutely fantastic. I always come back to the thing where I love sunset pictures. And where else can you get these sort of sunset pictures aside from being on the cruise? Now, these pictures were taken when we were at sea for the first 2 days. So this would be the Sunday and the Monday before we got to our first port of call, which was Tortola on the Tuesday. So again, just some gorgeous views of the sunset over the open water. And again, and the water was nice and calm. Again, nice and gorgeous. And again, all you hear is the ship just cruising through the water. You don't hear anything minus that. It's very peaceful. So Patrick and I would always take time before we would go to dinner, because again, this is in November, so the sun was setting very early. So it was great to get these kind of shots as we were out on the open water. Again, here's another one for you guys. This is just a different angle. Again, sunset. So this is on the right side. So it was kind of a bit darker on one side compared to the other one as it was starting to come down. This has got to be one of my favorites coming up here. Again, sun going down over the open water, and then seeing the clouds and how they do all these funky shapes. You can't, like, it's just the way the nature is. So, definitely being able to enjoy this again, it's definitely breathtaking. And we got one more here for you guys. So again, the colors. You can't get these kind of colors in the city. So again, another great shot I was able to snag while Patrick and I were just on our balcony, just enjoying it. Nicole, I'm from Ontario, Canada. But yeah, so again, fantastic to get these kind of shots. Now, dinner time. Who wants to talk about food? Sorry, Jill. Sorry, Stevie. Here we go. So, Animator's Palette. One of my favorite restaurants to go to on the Disney Fantasy. It's more of a fun, interactive type environment. No, the Great Lakes can't do justice like this when you're this far out in the open waters. They do. You can get great pictures, Andy, for sure. But these ones are just absolutely breathtaking. But yeah, Animator's Palette, again, table number 40. They all have different tabletops. Yeah, sorry, Triton. Yeah, not so much. So again, more great food coming up. And here, I'll do this first. So this is actually what the menu looks like. So Mickey on the front, Sorcerer Mickey on the front here, if you actually shift the menu back and forth, then Sorcerer Mickey moves, which is great. And it brings it to and then it brings it all to life, which is, again, very genius of Disney to do this, especially on the menu. So it's really cool. Yeah, Stevie, I'm not sorry. All right, let's jump into it. Food. Again, I can't remember what this was. I think it was gnocchi and some phenomenal sauce that it was in or something. But yeah, it was just absolutely delicious. But again, I can't say too much negative about the food. But I will talk about the food after I'm done showing you some of this amazing stuff. So the lighting inside Animator's Palette will constantly change. So inside here, so again, constantly changing. So you could have it where it's nice and bright, and then it goes like where it's almost like dark. Steve, you actually do, you want to know what? I think I think Patrick had them all written down, but I just like the looks of it, and it's great. So this was actually a cold soup, but it tasted absolutely heavenly. Yeah, it was fantastic. Filet mignon on top of garlic mashed potatoes. Like, it's just absolutely delicious. But you can see like the speckles of the pepper on it, the perfect grill marks on the steak. Again, I'm a foodie, so this becomes fantastic, and it's like absolutely fantastic in the belly. So Jill, I actually do have copies of the menus on my phone. I think somewhere. My phone I can't remember how many pictures are on it, but yeah, so I definitely do have them on there somewhere. Yeah, you got that right, Triton. Yeah, the good stuff, right? But wait until I get to the next one, and I think Jill will definitely have some appreciation for this one as well too, and Stevie. Desserts. This was a cheesecake, and if I'm not mistaken, um, I think it was something. I think it has like some sort of like a pumpkin spice taste to it as a cheesecake, and it was just absolutely delicious. You can see on the plates as well too how you can see like the paintbrush and then the design of Jennifer L. How are you? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Um, so you can see how you got the paintbrush there, and then it's doing so. All the plates that you get when it comes to, at Animator's palette is like this in some form. So you have the two main restaurants, or two out of the three rotational restaurants are on deck three. So Royal Court is more so found midship. Animator's palette is just down a long hallway. Probably between midship and aft is where you'd find this one here. But again, great food. And of course, you have to have your special coffee when you're having your dessert. This was definitely an adult beverage. Yeah, Triton, if you're allergic to cheesecake, then we're gonna have a problem. Yeah. Um, but this special coffee was absolutely fantastic and absolutely magically delicious. Sorry, magically fantastic delicious. I gotta make sure I get that right, James. Oh, Jennifer, it was a dream. Amazing. The next restaurant we went to the following night was called Enchanted Garden. It's on deck two. This one's actually right below the Royal Court. But again, these here were those fantastic. Was it the mozzarella on the inside? I think this was actually like 2 or 3 cheeses on the inside, then it's deep fried. Like just to die for. Oh, Jennifer L, the coffee was fantastic, and I actually ended up having about 2 of them. It was great. But yeah, so a lot of the drinks you'll find are like they go all the way across each of the cruise ships that they have. Some may have different variations depending on them, but have a great night there, Nicole. Thanks for stopping by. But again, delicious. French onion soup. This was epic. It wasn't too salty by any means, which I know that a lot of them will come really salty. This wasn't. You can see that beautiful onion and the cheese. And that cheese was like the stringy, ooey gooey masterpiece. So again, definitely delicious. And again, not too salty either, so that was great. Hopefully Stevie and Jill and Triton are not salivating too much, and hopefully Jennifer not either. Again, as Triton would say, the meat and potatoes. And again, you got some green beans that are underneath as well too. Again, fantastic. And again, I love my the beef cooked medium rare. So it's amazing. Now here's something I can no longer eat. My body has developed a food allergy for onion and sigh. Oh no, Jill, that's not fun at all. You gotta like do something to change that. I don't know what you do, but you gotta try and find something that we can get back to having some delicious French onion soup again. But Triton, again, here's the meat and potatoes for you, buddy. Yes, there are some green beans on it to make sure you do get some kind of veggies. Yeah, medium rare all the way there, Jill. And what do we have to go to next? Desserts. This was a caramelized pear. It has the graham cracker on the bottom, and it's nice solid, and it's nice good one piece of it. And then that was a vanilla coffee ice cream flavored. And again, it was delicious. But again, so this is pear. Stevie Lee, veggies, who eats those? Some people. But again, and again, it's really cool how they slice the pear into these pieces like this as well too. Again, just absolutely epic. Um, the Disney fantasy, the Disney dream, the Disney magic, and the Disney wonder, their main cafeteria that they have on board that serves breakfast and lunch is Cabanas. On the Disney Wish, it's Marceline Markets. And then on when the Disney Treasure comes out, December of 2024, it'll be Marceline Market as well too. But again, there's lots of, so you'll have your rotational dining each night that you go to for dinner. You don't have to go if you don't want to. You can go somewhere else if you want. They do have some pubs and stuff like that. You can get room service as well too. But they do have a variety of different restaurants that you can get. Well done. Can't stand anything bloody or I'll get sick. So hopefully that last picture didn't make you too sick, Andy. It is great food though. Not gonna lie. Bad dessert. So this is all between Saturday, the Sunday, and the Monday night. First port of call was Tortola. And again, this is just a couple of pictures that we got. So here's my son Patrick and I, as we're just standing out in front of the sign with the British Virgin Islands big letters behind us, and then the Disney Fantasy just off on the top left-hand corner there. Again, never been to Tortola before. Just our excursion unfortunately had gotten canceled because they didn't have enough of the staff of what we had booked. So we actually had booked a snorkeling catamaran adventure. They didn't have the staffing to accommodate, so unfortunately everyone's got canceled. So it's unfortunate, but we still got off the cruise ship anyways, and we just did a bit of a walk around, check out some of the shops and whatnot. Didn't buy anything, but it was nice just to get off and just to see, go somewhere different that we hadn't been before, just to enjoy it. Oh, Night Triton, thanks for coming in, buddy. It's only 20 after 8 at night. You shouldn't be going to bed just yet. But I guess you probably have to get up bright and early in the morning to take your son to work. So, but definitely thanks for coming in. Hopefully I didn't tease you too much with the food. My son thinking that he is on top of the world here with his arms up in the air. Patrick, and again, him just enjoying life as we're away and enjoying these adventures. So, again, now on the back of the Disney Fantasy, you can see we got Dumbo back there. Again, every ship has its unique Disney character on the back, so definitely fantastic to see all this stuff here. But again, my son just enjoying it and living life. So again, Triton, thanks buddy for coming in. Definitely appreciate it. Get some rest. Drive safe getting your son to work tomorrow morning, and we'll chat with you at some point tomorrow. But thanks buddy, appreciate it. So again, Jill. Oh, thank you, Jill. It was definitely fun raising him and to help mold him to the man that he is today. So I definitely appreciate. Thank you very much. He definitely had a blast meeting everyone on our Wish cruise back in April, and he's looking forward to the next one. So definitely, Jill, thank you for that. You want to know what, Chomps? There was a lot of wind. It did get windy quite often when we were out there, especially when we're on the port and on the ports and everything. But definitely an absolute blast, and there's more wind to come because unfortunately we did get hit with a lot of it. So yeah, Sarah, the food was all fantastic. Um, so St. Thomas was our next port of call, and this was on the Wednesday of the trip. So again, just a quick picture of Patrick and I. Of course, I'm representing with my Blue Jays T-shirt on. Still have to represent anyways, and show some of that Canadianness. But again, another great time to enjoy. Again, somewhere I'd never been before. Yeah, Chomsky was absolutely fantastic to go to these different places. So, and especially when you're doing so many, like when you're doing stops to countries you've never been before, and you can get a lot of it done in 7 days, or locations. So again, they're phenomenal to go to. So, like I mentioned before, my brother, my sister, and my two nieces had joined us on this cruise as well. So this next picture here. So again, my brother, my two nieces. So my brother Jared. So if we're going from left to right, my brother Jared, my niece Tegan, my niece Carden, and then my sister-in-law Kristen. Again, good times, a lot of fun on the cruises, and it's always fun. We can do it with family and friends and whatnot too. So definitely thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah, we did get off. We just walked around. I think my brother purchased a couple of things. I know. I think Patrick picked up a couple of things as well too when we were there. Um, but not a whole heck of a lot of shopping was done when we were at some of these ports. So this was one of the signs I loved to see. So this was a shop here where anything and everything at the shop, you could take it up back on the ship with you. So this is one of the things. When you buy something, can you take it back on the ship with you or not? So when you see these kind of signs that are posted up there, it was great. So, oh boy, chomps. I have no comment because I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah, I'll let Sunshine yeah, have a conversation with you about that one. But again, yeah, anything at this point you could take on. So they didn't have any fruit, so that way you couldn't get in trouble. Everything was sealed with proper labeling on it. And everything had see-through bags, so you could see exactly what was inside the bag. So, which was great. Again, I come back to them. Pictures as the sun is setting. So again, when we came into St. Thomas, we pulled in forward. So again, getting these kind of shots was always fantastic to get. Especially having the sun smack dab, boom, right there. Only limitations we were aware of was the amount of alcohol. Yeah, definitely alcohol for sure. Got to be careful with that. Celia, I'm headed out, Jordan. Thanks for coming in, Steve. You really appreciate it. Hope you have a great night, and we'll chat with you at some point tomorrow. James, depends on what it is. I mean, if you declare it, like there was no meat products that were there. It was more so things like your popcorn, chocolate bars. Some were chocolate bars. But again, there's a variety of different stuff. But again, everything was in sealed packages with it, full ingredients on it as well too. So that helped out. And again, I do pardon about the wind. But this was actually a shot that I took of us actually leaving St. Thomas as we were backing out. So this is so here's a picture here coming up where you'll see again Again, this is from our veranda, and this is just overlooking St. Thomas itself directly over where all the boats are, a lot of the houses up on the mountain. Again, fantastic to see these sites, and see how different communities, through their day to day, they were very welcoming when we got in there. Very personable people as well, and yeah, overall it was absolutely fantastic. And again, just another shot of the water with some of the landscaping, and again, some of the houses in the background and everything. Again, just great sights to see. I do my best, chomps, to get the best of pictures that I can. But yeah, just great sights to see while you're there. And again, this is another one just as we're pulling right out, and off to the races we go. One of the things that I really thoroughly enjoyed, again, is going back to like the live shows. Reminds me of Never City. Again, the live shows. So when we were actually in St. Thomas, we picked up an a cappella group that was there called Slay. And it was actually perfect timing because it was Christmas. And these are a group of 5 individuals, and they do sing at the parks as well too. They travel all over the world. They do a lot on Disney cruise ships as well too, and for Disney. And again, it so happened that we picked them up in St. Thomas, and guess what? They're performing that night. But again, it was a great show that we got to see this night. And again, very interactive as well. They jokes. One of the guys was a full-fledged beatboxer as well too, so that was actually great to see. Next I'm going to show you is going to be Pirates Fireworks, Disney fantasy style. And again, I do apologize, it's in portrait, not landscape, so enjoy the fireworks show. As again, Disney Cruise Line is the only licensed cruise line that can set fireworks off their ships. So that's how. So those are some amazing fireworks on the Disney Fantasy. Again, they're not all the same across the board when you look at all the ships. So they do change them up. The Disney Wish does have a better fireworks show for sure. That's his name. Oh, Andy. Chomps, I got your back, buddy. I promise. Yeah. So these are some of the, yeah. So that's one of the great great things about Disney. All these extra little shows that way, at night that they can do. You can see, so on the Disney Fantasy and on the Disney Dream, they have what's called the Aqua Duck. The Aqua Duck is the water slide that goes around the cruise ship. On the Disney Wish, it's the Aqua Mouse. On the other cruise ships, like on the Disney Magic, they have the Aqua Dunk. So, really cool that they have these on there for everyone to enjoy. Again, fireworks are always my favorite things to watch on the cruise ships, so I always like to make sure we're front row and center. Another one of my favorite shows, I do Chomps. That's 110%. Again, are the live Broadway shows. So they did do one with, again, coming up here, which is Frozen. Again, a great live show as well, too, that they did with all the different, with Elsa and Anna and Olaf. And, it was just a great show to watch overall. And again, high quality shows. Next we get to is one of my favorite, which is Castaway. So Castaway is on the Friday before we get off. So again, this is just a picture that I did take of overlooking Castaway from our veranda. And again, the water is just gorgeous. Seeing it as this color. Again, you can see right down at the bottom. The nice thing with Castaway as well too is that they do have like netting barriers that are set up so that way you can't get any larger sea creatures roaming in that shouldn't be there. They make sure that that's all taken care of, and that way no one has to worry while they're in the waters enjoying it. So everything is all safe, which is huge to have. Again, just a picture now of Patrick and I just enjoying a good time at Castaway, and yeah, just enjoying what's to offer. Next up here, again, you guys have probably seen this picture before, but again, we got the Disney Fantasy in the background here. Again, on the beach, on one of the beaches where people don't go on these beaches here to kind of lounge and chill out. Well, Christine, you'll have to come on the next cruise. But yeah, so again, another great shot here. Again, the nice clear water, and the water was really, really warm. So like absolutely gorgeous. So and then actually right after, not too long after we left, which I'll get there, we actually ran into quite the rainstorm. So it was good that we were able to enjoy it. Especially you can see those clouds in the background, kind of looking a little. Something's coming. One of my favorite, and you'll see this on my YouTube channel itself that I've got a picture of thereof. And again, it's my favorite, and I get a kick out of it each and every time I see it. As you're walking off a Castaway heading back towards the ship, you see you later, man. It's fantastic. It's a great saying to see, and yeah, it just is like, see you later, coming back. Right, so there's always going to be another time. Pardon the wind. Here's another video here I got here, but again, do pardon the wind. So again, that's us departing. So you got to see the cast members waving at us goodbye as we're departing Castaway. And then the last video there you got to see, which is where we're actually cruising on out of there to head back towards Port Canaveral. Which those are always the ones that you don't like, is when you have to go back and get off the ship. They're never too much fun. Overall, it was an absolutely great cruise to be on. Now, we had some hiccups and some hurdles. So when we go back to when we had pulled into Tortola on the first one, so the ship had done a full swing around, and whenever the ship did that, we always had a odor of diesel that was coming into our stateroom. It was very overpowering to the point where on the Disney cruise ships there are two bathrooms, especially in the staterooms that we have with the verandas. It was so overpowering that it made you feel like you were going to be sick. So it was a point where Patrick had picked a bathroom, I had picked the other bathroom, and once the ship had stopped, we were okay. It's okay, JD, if Indy calls me Norface, I can call her. All right, as long as you have that cleared out and whatever, then we're good to go. But either way, Chomps, I got your back, brother. So when we had that odor come through, finally when the ship stopped, Patrick and I drank some water. And again, on the cruise ship, the Dasani water comes in a can. Just like a pop can. Pop it open. And or like a beer. You just pop it open and enjoy it. So we had to do that. Reported it to guest services with what was going on. The crew member that I spoke to advised that they would let the bridge know what was going on. They would have it logged on our file that I called down. And Patrick was with me when I made the phone call. I was on the phone with guest services with this one here for 14 minutes and 22 seconds. And we time stamped it. Patrick wrote it down, kept notes. And they also said they would have a general contractor come up, one of the general contractors on board, come and take a look at the door, or come and see why it was coming in. No response. We didn't hear anything about anyone coming up. We had the same thing happen again when we went to St. Thomas. And again, the ship, when we got into St. Thomas, again, the ship had to, when it was backing in, that's when it did the full swoop all the way around, and then boom. Again, the same thing happened again. I called back down to guest services again, let them know what was going on, and reported, say, hey, I called in yesterday for the same thing. This is when it happens, still running into the same problem. And I said, okay, we'll put something in the system, we'll get it looked at. So this is on the Wednesday. The Friday, when the ship had done its turn coming into Castaway and backed in, the same thing happened all over again. Again, don't know why. Did our due diligence, and on the Friday we were getting ready to get off the ship itself, so I went down to guest services later on that day to let them know, hey, it happened again, to find out that the crew member that I spoke to at guest services on the Tuesday never bothered to record it, which is unfortunate. To find out after I brought it up when we get off the ship that, hey, guess what? JG, how are you? Welcome in. Thanks for joining. When I reported it, I sent an email to the DCL guest services email. I got an email back, and an investigation was done. An investigation came back to find out that they didn't look at the sliding patio door until the Saturday after we had disembarked, so after we had left our room and before the next guest came on board. Yeah, you're stuck with me on a Monday night, JG. To find out that there were seals that were broken on the sliding door heading out to the veranda, which is unfortunate. So that was why we got the abundance of the diesel smell coming into our room, which made us nearly sick each time. To the point where we had, so again, I checked with my brother. My brother's room was next to us, didn't have a problem. I checked with our neighbor next door. They didn't have a problem either. So it was just really mind-boggling and baffling that it wasn't done or looked into until we got off and before the next guest was coming on. They had used the Navigator app to communicate with us. You can communicate with others. It's easy enough to put a note inside the Navigator app coming from guest services saying, hey, this is what's going on. It's so and so's been up there to look at it. This is what was been done. They can send everything else through there. And I know Jill will attest to that when we're on the Disney Wish back in April. They sent a lot of communication coming through there, and it wasn't done. So we hadn't. So that was very disappointing. I would have to say that the food quality, and I know Steve is looking for this one here, but hopefully she'll watch it back. The food quality and the level of service between being on the Disney Fantasy compared to the Disney Wish. The Disney Wish trumped the Disney Fantasy by far. There was just no comparison. Again, maybe because the Disney Wish was a newer ship and it was only in its 4th month of accepting paying guests. Maybe, I don't know. So everyone was on their best behavior. Don't know. So yeah, it was just disappointing that things weren't taken more seriously than what they were. And all this could have been resolved a lot sooner than what it was. So again, disappointment that way there with that cruise. But still though, had a blast with my son. I had an absolute blast because with my brother and his family being there. Got to go to Port Sacal we hadn't been to before. But overall it was, it was good overall minus some of those hiccups that we ran into. Jill had no complaints at all, no wish regarding the food or service. Yeah, and you want to know what? Jill, I'd have to agree with you 100% on that. It was absolutely outstanding and phenomenal. It didn't matter where you went to eat, where you were on the ship, who you were talking to. It was fantastic. Being a professional cleaner, being around diesel or oil is very dangerous. Yeah, it's definitely one thing you definitely have to look after and take care of yourself when it comes to that, right, chomps? So, yeah, definitely. It was just, yeah. I don't know really how to express my disappointment in regards to what had happened on that. So, but it was fixed for the next group that came on board. So, at least it got done. But still, though, it shouldn't have had to take me going down to guest services 3 times to bring it up. So that was quite disappointing. I talked to some great people afterwards. Again, one of the executive guest correspondents with what had happened. I also spoke to another team as well too with Disney Cruise Line that I got referred to over as well. And again, everything on their end was handled fantastic and amazingly, but it never should have had to get to that point. So again, disappointment in that sense. But again, so overall, had a fantastic time on the cruise. Really enjoyed it. I've been on the Fantasy a lot. And it's always been a great ship. And I always get the same stateroom number. So like the Disney Wish, I got the same stateroom number. So it's always been fantastic that way. So, but yeah, so that's my Disney Fantasy experience. And again, when I talked about the Disney Wish on the last one, we couldn't do the Nassau, Bahamas, and Castaway itinerary because of Hurricane Nicole. This one here, no problem. Went down to Tortola, St. Thomas, up to Castaway, no issues whatsoever, and no damage was done to Castaway either, which is fantastic. So, definitely great in that sense. But yeah, overall, fantastic. Does anybody have any questions? or things you may want to know. Things about a Disney cruise. So here's something for you. So on the Disney Fantasy guest services is on deck 3. Disney Wish guest services is on deck 4. So things do change up from ship to ship in regards to where you find certain things. Whether it's for convenience, layout, whatnot, don't know. But no, you find a lot more of the shops are located on deck 3, like on the Fantasy, but they're more accessible. And the Disney Wish has more shops on it as well too. The Disney Wish is bigger. So Disney Wish will take up to 4,000 guests. The Disney Fantasy is 4,200 guests. However, the ship itself in length the Disney Wish is longer as well as wider. But again, so the Disney Fantasy was it hit the waters back in 2012. So it's on its 13th year of being on the water. It's going to be coming up for a dry dock soon. I would suspect once the Disney Treasure comes out, that's when you're going to see the change with the Fantasy going to dry dock to get some upgrades done. The Disney Wonder just finished doing some dry dock actually in Vancouver, so that'll be so it's getting back to hit the waters. Jill, so I know you're going on the Wish again in next November. Jill, I would say the Wish is my favorite right now. I'm definitely looking forward to going back on it again. To again just explore it. We are going on a 4-night, 5-day cruise, so definitely looking forward to that. And again, we're going to explore more of the ship. Are we going to get off at NASA? No, we're not. After our experience back at NASA back in April, probably not, unless we do the Atlantis boat tour. That might be the only reason why we get off to go and enjoy it. Chomps, no, we didn't get anything on the Fantasy. They didn't even give the option of going to medical either to get checked out. So that was quite disappointing. Now, Patrick and I did have to seek medical afterwards, but when we got home. But yeah, overall, yeah. I don't know. Which one set sail first? JG, the first ship to set sail was the Disney Magic back in 1998. And then followed by the Disney Wonder. I believe that was 2000. If I'm not mistaken. The Disney Dream was 2010. And the Disney Fantasy was 2012. Obviously, the Disney Wish last year in 2022. You'll have the Disney Treasure December of 2024. The Disney Adventure, which is the newest one that's coming out, that's currently being worked on in a different shipyard in Germany right now. That one's capacity was supposed to be 9,000. Disney dropped it down to 6,000. That way they can do their part to make it all Disney style. That one's going to be going to Singapore, and they've signed a 5-year contract for going to Singapore. And then, so you got the Disney Wish, the Disney Treasure, and the Triton class. One more ship is coming in the Triton class, which, believe it or not, the floating engine room has already showed up already at the Meyer Werft shipyard in Germany. So they're already getting things going. Have they released the name of that one? Not yet. I would say that's probably going to get released at D23 next year, is when you're going to see that ship's name come out. You could see it being maybe the Disney Star. I've heard that one going around a lot, so that might be an option for it, but you just never know. What else we got there? JG Magic was the first ship, yeah. So who else has any questions? But yeah, I'd say I'll definitely continue cruising with Disney, as again I've already got two more already booked. Um, Looking forward to that excitement, especially enjoying it with my son. So again, it's our father son bonding time together where we get to have fun, do all the stuff Disney that we want, and just go about it how we want to go about it. I usually do the planning. Patrick will drop in his 2 cents every now and then, but Patrick just likes to go with the flow. He knows it's a lot of work to plan it, so he leaves it upon Dad. And then when we talk about parks, what we want to do, what day, what rides we might want to go on, he's fully into that, and we plan it out accordingly, and we go from there. But yeah, Disney cruising is one of my favorite things. We'll continue to do it as long as we can, and keep on enjoying what these ships have to bring. Chomp's not anytime soon. I'm on a beach having some sunken treasures, some amazing adult beverages. Yeah, no. JG there will be, yeah. So they're always constantly expanding. Um, yeah. So after the Disney Adventure, you'll have the third ship in the Triton class with the Wish and the Treasure coming out. And after that, they're probably going to go bigger with their ships. Um, the capacity, who knows? But yeah, they'll definitely go bigger, and we'll see how many more ships they do, because Disney doesn't have a lot in their fleet right now. They've got 5 right now. They'll be up to 6 by the end of next year, and then 7 by 2025, and then another 8th one coming after that, which I think is probably going to be 2025, 2026. So I think it's going to be a quick turnaround for getting these ships out. But again, you won't hear the release dates until the shipyard can give them more of a concrete date of when they'll be ready to release it. Yeah, you definitely do get spoiled for sure, Jill. That's yeah, definitely an understatement, and definitely a lot of fun for sure. Chomps, where are these ships built? So Disney's first few ships were built in Italy, and then they moved over to having them all built in Germany. So right now the Disney Wish, the Disney Treasure are both being built at the Disney Wish was built in the Meyer Werft shipyard in Germany. Same thing with the Disney Treasure. Same thing with the next ship in the Triton class. And then the Disney Adventure is being built at another shipyard in Germany. I just don't know the name off the top of my head. I have looked it up, but it's not registering in my brain at the moment. So, but yeah, Disney's first started out, yeah, they first started off with Italy, but then they transitioned everything over. Even some of the material on the parts are actually built in Poland. So the second funnel was just delivered not that long ago to the Meyer Werft shipyard, which is the final funnel to go on top of the Treasure. And again, before it goes on, it'll get painted. The Disney colors. They'll make sure it's done properly to make sure it pops out. So essentially take the look of what the Disney Wish is right now, and that's what you're going to see as the Disney Treasure, minus a couple of changes. Well, changes on the interior for sure. Obviously the back of the after the ship as well too, where it's going to show, Hook and Peter Pan. Captain Minnie is still going to be on the front, have the front logo right on the front of the ship. And yeah, so we'll see what comes next. But definitely all great questions. Anyone else have any other questions? Anything else anyone wants to know about Disney Cruise Line in general? I know Chomps have probably got another burning question there. And yeah, one of the things Chomps, you and I were talking offline about, the cruise ships are wheelchair accessible. They do have wheelchair rooms. They do have rooms that accommodate to persons with disabilities, especially if they are physical. They do accommodate accordingly, and it's a matter of just when you book that cruise, it's a matter of being looking ahead of time of what rooms they have to offer, even what deck you might want to be on, because they do have the modified staterooms that are in certain areas of the ship throughout. So I was looking at the deck plan ahead of time, kind of figure that out. And then when you do place that phone call, you've already got this information already. So then it makes it a lot easier for you to say, hey, this is the room that I want. And again, they're fantastic, phenomenal. It's all tailored accordingly. So they will make sure that, and any requests. And a lot of people have asked me this question, any sort of medical request that you may have. So if you have a CPAP machine, you let them know ahead of time. They put a note in your file. They'll have distilled water delivered to your stateroom before it's already in your stateroom when you get on board. So it's there, it's ready to go for you. Again, any sort of medical devices or equipment that required to be plugged in, let them know. It's one of the things I can emphasize. Let them know all this information. The more information they have, the better off it is. So, mustard drill. How long is it done, and how is it done? How long is it? You want to know what? Chomps, the mustard drills done fairly. They're not that long, 15-20 minutes at most. But it's fantastic that in regards to, they'll make sure they get you to a point where it's easy accessible inside the room. And then usually when the muster drill is done is when everyone will go up to like deck 11 and deck 12, and that way then you can watch the sail away party. Those of whom are say if you're in a scooter or in a wheelchair or something like a device like that, you're the first ones to get on the elevators to get up to where you're going. So especially if we're going up to deck 11 or deck 12, you're the first ones to get on there. Everyone else that is physically capable, stairs, or you're gonna wait for the elevator, right? So just so you know on that one there. But yeah, not long and very seamless. Typically they're anywhere scattered between deck 4 and deck 5 is typically where they are. But they get a lot of people inside. They'll use the restaurants. Like I know when I did mine on Disney Wish, it was inside Marvel's Avengers. So you go inside there, you do the drill. They'll show you how to do stuff. You hear the noises that it makes. But when you go there, you have to scan in. That way they know that everyone for your party is there. And go from there. So make sure if you're capable, you have your walking shoes on and you're good to go, because you're going to be doing. But again, they're not going to be. I think anywhere between deck 4, deck 5, maybe deck 6, depending. Everyone has a location that is identified on the back of your door, and on the Navigator app, it also tells you where your muster drill is being held as well. Yeah, Jill, they were great for Michael with that one. They were making sure that distilled water was there. And it was great, again, providing that information to them. That way they can make sure they could accommodate to have that ready to go. That's awesome. Yeah. Anytime, Chomps. Again, any questions that you or Sunshine may have, don't hesitate to ask. Even what I might do is that even after the stream is over, even if you want, put comments, write some questions in the comments after the stream is over. And I'd be more than willing to answer those questions on the next stream. So that way, at least I can share that with everybody, and everybody is fully aware what to expect. And you want to know what? If I don't know the answer, and I'm sure there's some things I don't know the answers to, I will look it up. I will call DCL directly if I'm unable to find the information, and I will get that for you. So don't hesitate to, so after the stream is done, drop questions in the comments, and I will make sure I do a live stream just dedicated to questions that you may have. But again, no question is, other people probably will have the same question. So just drop it in and we'll get that done. Any other questions? Yeah, but the one that I'm looking forward to in the Disney Wish next year, though, is it will be a very merry time Christmas cruise. So I'm looking forward. So we're out in November of last year. they were getting things set up and doing rehearsal for the Christmas show on while we were there. So we got to watch it. You know, you couldn't film it or take pictures of it. They made sure they had crew members that were watching to make sure you weren't. And if you did, they would make sure that you deleted it off your phone. Right? So, yeah, can't wait to see it. Again, Christmas is my favorite. That's why I picked that cruise to do. And before the Christmas rush. As you get closer to like the American Thanksgiving, as you get closer to Christmas time, March break, those times you're going to be paying a lot more for the cruise. So definitely, if you're able to get one booked in advance, that's what I would, before those times, I'd recommend you do it. As you will see the prices start to increase. If you can book your cruise when the itineraries are first released or within that short period of time after they're released, that's the time that you're going to get the best rates. The more the staterooms sell out and guests are booking those suckers, prices go up. That's just a rule of thumb. So the quicker you can book it, the better off you are. Get at that lower rate. Your price guaranteed. So your rate will not go up. And actually, the past couple times I've gone at it, I've gotten some of the port fees, taxes, and expenses as a refund. It's been great. So they send it back. They put it back on your original payment method. So it's great. Can't wait to see the Christmas decorations. Yeah, chomps, they are awesome. And again, I can't wait to see what they are on the Wish. Fully lit up and fully decked out. So deck the ship with, sorry, I won't go that far. And yeah, Steve, thanks for dropping that in. But yeah, that was my Disney fantasy experience. But again, in comparison to both of them, aside from weather on the Disney Wish trumped the Disney fantasy experience by far. But my experience was I got to share it with my son. Can't change that for the world. Questions, comments. Yeah, and if you do hit a storm, they go around it. Sometimes thunderstorms come through, they can't avoid them, so you're going to feel it. But those are really cool. Stand on your veranda, watch it, enjoy it, film it. Patrick, actually my son, he got some great videos of lightning coming down. It was fantastic to see. So great to see the storms over the open water. As long as it's not a hurricane or a tropical storm, then we're good. But again, safety first. They will put out all the warnings. We've gone before in the Disney Fantasy back in 2017, and we were advised we were not allowed to go on an open deck. They locked all the doors down, and we couldn't go on our verandas either. So yeah, and once we got clear of the hurricane and we were started to head west towards Cozumel, Mexico. I think it took us about 6 to 8 hours before they actually allow us on the open deck. So they didn't even do the sail away. They did a sail away party in the port. Everything was done there, and then after we got in the open waters, it was everyone inside. So again, safety first. That's the best one-on-one with Sana. You got that right, chomps. All right, guys. I want to thank you all for coming in tonight and sitting back, relaxing with your theme park treats, a beverage of some sort, and just enjoying my adventures. Lots more to come. Next one I'll get into actually talking about the parks that I've done, as well as actually the Disney Wish Cruise back from April. We had some more fun times on that one. Jill's aware of them. I know Andy's aware of them. But yeah, we'll go over those ones. Definitely some interesting times, but still had a blast. So, again, any questions, drop them in the comments at the end of the stream. That way I can make sure I can answer them for you. Don't forget, thanks Steve for dropping those in, your fast fingers today. But yeah, partner channels with Florida Park Explorers as well as the Sam will be 12. Yeah, jump in there, check out Sam for anything, especially with the hockey season starting. He'd be right into it, like full force. So definitely check him out. And as everyone knows, Florida Park Explorers, check them out. I think they've got maybe 9 or 10 more streams this week, and theme park treats, all that fun jazz. Oh, Jill, you're more than welcome. Again, I've been on the fantasy. I've been on the most, and it's still a gorgeous ship at the end of the day. I still have a lot of fun on it, but yeah, just go through some rough experiences. Christine, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. I know you've been in Ninja because you got some guests over, but thanks for popping in. But as I always say, everybody, we'll see you later, and have a great night.